On this episode of DPV, we're 4-linking the rear of the Bronchosaurus. What up guys, back here at the Total Mayhem Garage. It's new tool day here. So my buddy Tyler has built an entire trophy truck and he does not own Sawzall. So I changed that. Grab the old Bauer Harbor Freight Special Sawzall. We're gonna check that out while we gotta cut out the exhaust. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is running, they make fender well headers, so the header comes out here and then we'll exit over here, and so it stays on the outside of the frame versus inside of the frame. And so I gotta cut my old exhaust out anyway, so thought I'd try the old Bauer 10 amps. Let's see how she does. Toolless change. If you ever buy a new Sawzall, always get the toolless change. It's whether it be the twisty or the my personal favorite is the kind that have the tab here, because a lot of times during demo you'll break a blade, flush off here, and you can open it, hit the button, and eject that portion of it out. But nevertheless, we'll load her up. Looks good. All right, got my upper truss welded on. Thanks, Tyler. So, bought this, I believe, from Ruff Stuff. Pretty economical. I think it was like 180 bucks versus trying to make one. Came everything done. Better to get your angles right. It was made for this axle tube size. And we're gonna wheel it under the truck and see what we like. Day 2 on the Project 4-link. I gotta get rid of some of the stuff that's in the way. My fuel tank. I'm gonna try to incorporate this back in, but it's gonna have to be raised up because of pumpkin, or my upper truss would come up and hit it. Would be nice to keep the 35-gallon tank. Currently it has a 19-gallon tank. It's out of it right now, but that is where the it does have an in-cab tank. It is, I think it's only 19 gallons, but so it would be nice to get the additional 35 gallons, as this thing gets approximately 6 miles to the gallon as it sits. Hopefully when I address the motor issues, do a little bit of souping up to that, hopefully we can gain a few MPGs, even 1 or 2 would be nice, because out on the trail, she's thirsty. I've been dreaming about this for, I don't know, 8-10 years. My thought was I'll flip this over, so instead of being bolted to the bottom of the axle, my hitch receiver will be on the top. I always envisioned this not having a rear bumper, and when needed to drive on street, I would just drop those cheater mud flaps in that gets put into the hitch that would have like a rear bumper on it. So I'm gonna, for now, I'm just gonna pull these 4 bolts, get it out of the way for now, and I will have it, so if I do end up reincorporating using this bar. This is a good recovery point, pulls even on your frame. You're not pulling from side to side, and it's usually pretty strong. So, all right, let's get that out of here. Here's a tip my old man taught me early on. If you're ever removing something awkward or heavy, whether, I mean, anything from a starter, alternator, anything in a weird place you gotta hold, transmission, whatever, when you're taking it out, leave the easiest bolt for last. So you're not trying to fight getting to the hardest to get bolt, which in my case is gonna be these bolts back here up underneath. This one right here out in front where I can get to it easy. So leave this bolt for the end so that when you're removing it, you're not trying to fight the weight of it and the awkward bolt position. Goes for when you put it back in, obviously always start with the easiest bolt so that you're holding it up easy and starting the easy one. Landed right on the brake line, perfect! All right, so in my head, I drew this up. The whole frame is sitting up high, but kind of give it a look. I'll be able to unbolt that and flip this center pipe over so that it looks right. Your chain holds, although it won't really be ever towing a trailer. It might someday down the road, I guess. Tow a little overland trailer. That'd be kind of nice to be able to have that option. Or this thing would look sick with like a little 5th wheel. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. All right, I got the rear bed area stripped, all the brackets off, and also removed about a yard of dirt from underneath the skid plate and around the gas tank area. Really gonna lighten the load. This might get me some of my fuel economy back right here. So, all right, I'm gonna get this all cleaned up, get this lowered down, get my frame sitting about level, and go from there about getting the axle in. Ballistic Fab laser cut brackets. Tire is going to be tacking these together. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't have ground any welds.
I was just cleaning out, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Just so it's all nice and smooth. That's all. I'm grinding out my weld.
Does this say 7/8 on the side? This is a TT? Ain't good enough. Tyler finish welded up the Ballistic Fab brackets. Hot. These ones are still hot. Here are my rear coil mount and link mount. Rear coil link, frame side link. I believe I originally said dual triangulated 4-link, but after watching some more videos on it and looking here, with a dual triangulated 4-link, the longer your wheelbase is, the longer your arms need to be. And so, seeing that I have a long wheelbase, where these links would go to, because this angle is already set on my truss, my links will go from here to, what's that? Just kind of a mock-up bar, but from the truss to the frame side. And if this came out from the axle up, I'd be right in the way of my drive line. So I'm just gonna go with a traditional 4-link, with the lower links being parallel to the frame. They are gonna sit on the outside of the frame. My coil buckets are gonna sit about here. Yeah, another thing, I ended up having to remove, oh, that bar's gonna fall. I did end up having to remove both of the gas tank stabilizer cross pieces, which won't be a big deal because, like I said, I'm gonna have that tie-in bar across the back. My tires are sitting at about, it needs to come in a little bit. I'm sitting there right now about 138. I'm gonna end up being about, I believe, 135. Somewhere between 132 and 135 for my overall wheelbase. And I know that's kind of long to be running 40s, but cab dimensions are kind of set, so. All right, I'm back again. Day 3 of trying to get this rear 4-link set up. Camera's getting weird. Still need to strip the axles of some factory bracketry. Figure out how I'm gonna do my coil buckets. All my upper buckets will be attached to the side of the frame versus the bottom of the frame. On the Bronco frame, it doesn't kick up and back down like it does on a traditional truck frame. It just barely kicks up, then just goes straight back. Today's goal is to figure out what my rod lengths should be. I'm kind of preset on these angles, and so where those end up there are kind of preset. So gonna take between 1 and 200 measurements, make sure I get it right, plug it into the old Etch-a-Sketch over there, run the numbers, see where I'm at, and go from there. So first I'm just kind of making super rough guesstimate measurements, see if I'm in the ballpark for all my anti-roll, anti-squat, all the fun things you get to figure out when you're doing 4-link. Once I find out if my numbers are close, I'll tack everything together, make real measurements with the pieces, you know, rigid, and then enter those numbers again to see where we're at. All right, first thing I think I've ran into issue-wise is due to my narrow frame, I believe I'm gonna have to change these angles. So, heat them up, bend them, cut them off, re-weld them. Suck. Because, see, I'd like these to be, I think here. I'll just have to figure out a way to weld it there on that dip. Okay. Let's redo one of these measurements here. This would be way easier if the cab wasn't on, but I really don't want to pull the cab again. Right in here. C measurement is to the center of the axle. So I got all my measurements here. If you're like me and when you were looking at the 4-link calculator, it was a little confusing on where to get all your numbers from, I found a sweet tech article by T. Davis on the Pirate 4x4 website, which I'll link direct to the thread on the where and how to get your measurements. It shows, it's pretty sweet. It shows where to get all your, you're not gonna be able to read that, where to get all your measurements from. Then you can get all your measurements from your truck, put them on your handy dandy scrap paper here, and then come on over to your computer and enter the data. Okay, so let's do that now. I already stripped the front axle, but the rear axle I still got to cut off a few factory mounting points. Cutting out those spring perches with the angle grinder wasn't working. Busting up the big guns. Plasma made quick work of those brackets. I'm gonna take my flapper disc, clean those up, and then I should be able to set the rear axle in location for the last time. What's not ground?
Well, I just gotta knock that smooth, so when you paint it, you don't have like those spots all over it.
When I wet it?
Paint it.
Foreign concept, don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, you're gonna undercoat your chassis.
Nah, probably not.
Well, you'll at least rattle can this so it doesn't rust.
I was gonna wait like 3 weeks, wait till it to like get like some surface patina on it, then clear coat it. Okay, I originally, I mean yesterday, when I was drawing this out on the floor here, I thought I was gonna end up in the 132 range. It looks like I'm gonna be short of that, and so of course the math is gonna change. So I'm gonna scoot this rear axle. I want to be as short a wheelbase as you can get on a crew cab. So I think the Bronco was like 104, 102, maybe 109, I don't know. And and that wheeled pretty good. It could have used a little bit longer wheelbase. I was hoping to be more in like the 116 range, but I will be over 120 for sure. Push this axle forward, get some new measurements, and see where I'm actually gonna be sitting at. But with a 40-inch tall tire, that's about where I'd come. So, looks like my wheelbase is gonna be right at 132. I might be able to cheat it in another couple inches. There's not, I think even if I get it down to 130, I'd be happy. It's always nice to have a guy that has a machine shop. So I'm at Alfie's house, truing up the lower links, and then we're gonna bore them out. The bungs that I bought were for they have an 1.5 inch inner hole. This is a 2-inch pipe with 5/16 wall thickness. We gotta take a 16th off of that. And yeah, and then my threaded bush bungs will go in, weld them in, and be good to go. Got my bungs. They are, got my arms all the way cut here. left-hand thread and the right-hand thread one. Tyler, don't mix these up.
Okay. Noisy time.
After consulting the brain trust, we determined that we need to plate the frame. So, got a piece of 1/4-inch plate, put that there. There it is on that side, all the way welded in. Then I just have the upper link tacked to the frame plate. So once that goes in, then we'll weld that to there. And then I'll be able to make my final measurements for my lower links.
I know what you need it for. Those gaps
I don't pay him. It's not very quick. It's getting pretty discouraging. I'm over here working my butt off. And Tyler can't even get these brackets welded in. What do you want to do here? The front needs to come up a hair.
Oh, you want
This needs to come up?
No, that's good.
That needs to come down.
That's gonna come down?
Yeah, because we want to match it with the other side.
Do you have an angle finder at all?
I've been staring into a tape measure every day for the past week, trying to figure out how to make these numbers work. One thing I noticed that I was under the impression from some of the research I had done, you can read way too much about these. I thought that my lower link needed to be longer. It should actually be a hair shorter. And so for my initial rough in, I had my lower links being too long. And so, if I can, I'd love to figure out how to mount them right here. I don't know if I zip this off right there, if that will work. So my plan now is if I get a piece of channel or angle iron that I could just place over this, C hand for scale, like that. That'd give me a 26.5. I did break down and buy tires yesterday. They don't give those away. So anybody wants to be our tire sponsor, positions open. You can sticker the crap out of my truck. I went with the 42-inch IROX. They're gonna be on a 17-inch Battleborn beadlock. It's I believe they're 14 inches wide, 42, 14, 17, so get a little bit of traction on this bad boy. Got my axle side coil bucket brackets all welded up. I need to relieve a little bit right in here so that it lines up really good on the axle to weld it. See how they fit? Maybe just a hair more there on the top. So that hold. legit crawl right there. Sweet, this should be able to load onto a trailer now. I can get this out of your shop.
No binding. It's about as ideal as you get, man.
I mean, you did good work, bro.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Dude, this is... Oh, no.
What?
My... It's the Carolina squat. Gay
I
now.
thought you were seeing something that we missed. I was like, what? What do we do?
No, I gotta take it to the pound and put it down now. Let's go to the scrapyard.
It is a
Just say
Ford.
no to the Carolina squat. Just a Ford.
Pinion angle's beautiful. Bars are almost level, and at full droop, that's what you're going for. That's like your...
And it, like, we have no cap,
I mean full bump, not full droop, but...
yeah, there's no, like, cap interference. And even if I put my toolbox, like, straight across the frame here, I'm not gonna hit these.
No. But I would like to do a tube and a tube just to strengthen your rear end, and then we'll
Yeah.
do tabs on for your box.
Yeah. Dude, that
Just
was
consult the rendering.
the rendering. Look at the rendering. Yeah, I'll make sure I look at the
Now
rendering.
you want 42s.
I know. Well, because the rendering had 42s. All right. Well, thanks, Tyler. And we got the 4-link. I'm gonna say mocked up, but it's a hard mock. It's a hard mock life for me. Everything's tacked in, aggressively tacked in, and everything cycles. I'm waiting on the upper coil buckets for here. I'll figure out my shock geometry, and
Little gusseting.
a little bit of gusseting, but it's a roller again. It's supposed to be 2 weekends. I think it's been 4, but we got her. Tires will be here Monday. I got my coil buckets from Barnes 4-wheel drive. They are beefy. Might need to do a little trim in here to scoot my bucket back. Everything is centered up, but without a drive line in. And with everything just tacked in, it kind of has a little bit of adjustability. So we'll weld the buckets in. I'll measure for some springs. But yeah, at this point it's a roller. And we'll get it back to my house, and then we'll tackle that front suspension. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to wheel it, wreck it, wrench it, repeat. Until next time, see ya.
I got another. Oh, all right, go ahead.